Hey Vector, what's the temperature today?
23 degrees and cold.
Reddy Heater, Professional Series 200T. I did have another heater before this, so I kind of can't judge how long I've had this heater. It has been working flawless for me for years until today. It was basically just to kind of heat the shop, and then if I needed to, shoot the heat right outside the garage door for whatever I'm working on during the wintertime. So we're working on Big Black. And obviously Big Black, there's no way that Big Black could ever fit inside this garage. The intent was to be able to just, throw this heater on for now, and that basically kind of gets the area warm, and then take the jet heater. I guess you would call it supplemental heat, but it's actually going to be the main heat. And I'm basically just going to fire it out the garage door, and it'll heat up the area that I'm going to be working in, the outside. I took this plug, I plugged it in, which this is definitely not a OSHA approved plug anymore. So might have to address that. Probably not now. Plugged it in. The light lit up. Everything was fine. Thermostat was all the way down. Cranked it up like I usually do. It sputtered. The light itself was actually still on. So let's tear into this thing. Granted, I can't really remember how long I've had this heater, but this heater is absolutely amazing. This is typically the fuel that I use right here, K1 kerosene. Usually get like a 5-gallon pail. Before that, I was getting kerosene at the pump, which I don't know if kerosene at the pump is as clean as that K1. Side note, this heater, it usually gets left outside in the rain. Snow, ice, hurricanes, tornadoes. Yeah, maybe that is why it kind of looks like that. All those years of owning this thing, never once replaced a filter. There is a filter on the back side of this. I don't know if you can see it in there. Yeah, right there, that sponge filter right there. So that sponge filter, I have cleaned that, and that's just by way of, taking my air compressor, kind of blowing it out. But there is actually another filter that's inside this unit. We're going to check that out and see what that looks like. Because we have minimal fuel in here, almost empty, we're going to tip it on its nose just to be able to get easier access to it. All we need right now is a Phillips screwdriver just to take this little vent grill off. You can kind of get a better view now of that filter that I'm talking about and how we got to take off this vent grill. It's as easy as just a Phillips screwdriver right in that slot right there. Now you can definitely get a better view. You can see how dusty and dirty things are. So this is the filter right here that I'm talking about. It's just a sponge style filter just to keep dust out from the air intake. So just take this little filter out right here, and this is the one that I usually clean. And there is actually one here. All these years of owning this thing, I've never taken that off, so let's check it out. Taking this cover off right here, it looks like it's only 4, probably 8mm fasteners. Well, if it's not an 8mm, the 8mm actually works, so I'll just put it on a little extension. Buzz this thing off. You can see I've never taken this thing apart. Whoa. Alright, so there we go. I think I'll just towel this thing off just to clean it up. We'll shine a light through this filter to see what it looks like. It looks like carbon or something here. Some kind of black soot. You shine a light through it just to see the condition of it. Trying to shine the light through it, nothing's shining through, so I'm assuming that this filter is probably garbage now. And this is probably why it's been smelling so, I guess, unburned fuel rich from before when it fired up. I'm going to blow this thing off and then probably, I don't know, maybe wash it out. We'll see. This is going to have to actually be more washed out, so I'm just going to wash it out with hot soap and water. I ended up looking online, and I found that you can actually get a new kit with, it looks like, 3 filters. So fuel filter, whatever filter this is, and then obviously that sponge air filter. And this one right here, you can see right now, I've pretty much cleaned it up, and that was just as easy as using that OEM Tools gun that I've got right there. And actually, a good amount of stuff did come out. We're just going to install that right now and see if this thing runs. This is basically going to be working in an open air environment. Today, it's supposed to be about 40 degrees. You know, working outside isn't going to be that bad, but definitely having this jet heater performing, blasting out of the garage door right there, it'll definitely be a help. Kind of just keeping some of that cold away. Just took a one of these cheap little Harbor Freight brushes and kind of just brushed all in there and blew everything out with my air gun. Like I said, blew both the front and back side, got some dust and I think carbon off of there. And then just kind of cleaned this up. I did throw a couple of drops of oil in that little ball bearing plunger type thing. And now I'm just going to reinstall things the way it came apart. Let's kind of settle those down through the gasket. Make sure it's aligned well. I should have got like a video of the thing not firing, but it didn't fire, so we'll see what this did, if it did anything at all. I have no idea why it didn't fire, but just clean up this stuff and see what happens. No Arnold Schwarzenegger strength here, just kind of tighten it down. It is just a little cork gasket. Good enough. I did clean this out with hot soap and water and just kind of put this back in place. You know what? I think I'll flip it. See if that makes a difference. Tip this thing back down. I want to pry this off. I know the switch is fine, but this is actually feeling, if you can hear it, sounds kind of crunchy. Well, let's see what's going on there. Not sure how this is held on. Doesn't look like it has any kind of a set screw or anything, but this is an old window clip removal tool. And what you would do is, in the old style cars with the crank windows, so you would slide this tool in between the door panel and the handle, and it would push out these little clips. It actually might have one of the clips. So this is the actual clip right here. And what it would do is you would slide it in like that and see how it lines up. It would basically spread that clip and push that pin out. So I'm not saying that this has that style of clip, but I have no idea what's holding it in. So I can still use this kind of like as a pry tool, just to see if I can pop this out without destroying it. Not knowing how this thing comes out. There we go. Alright, it's coming out. Alright, so it's just the typical style knob. I'm going to take a little bit of oil. I'm going to put a couple of drops of oil in here. Feels kind of crunchy. Put a couple of drops of oil in there and then just, you know, wind it back and forth, kind of clean all this stuff out of here, and we'll see what happens. Use that same Harbor Freight brush. Down. Just take a couple drops of oil and shove it in there. You know, this is just a pneumatic lubricant. It's just oil. Take a couple drops. I'm going to go down into that little switch there. Put this knob back on. Cranks. If I back this off a touch. feels nice and smooth now. I wonder if this is one of those old style, like, what was that, a resistor switch or a potentiometer switch? I have no idea if this thing's going to fire up, but let's just check it out, see what happens. Boy, is it cold outside. It's only 24 degrees out. So covering that switch up, we've got power, so it should ignite, hopefully. Will it? You know what? Might be too warm in the garage. Turn that knob up, see what happens. See if I can catch any smoke coming out. Might be some smoke, who knows. Okay, nothing. Alright, so it did fire up, but obviously it didn't ignite. So I'll just blow some air in here. Come on, fire up!
It worked! It worked! I finally have done something that works!
Oh, it's nice. That worked out nice. Garage door closed. It still is smelling a little dirty, but that could be, you know, that fuel filter that's in there, and also that other filter that, again, you know, like I said, I've had this thing, what, 15, 20 years, and didn't even know it had filters like that. I just always clean the other filter. Whatever. So I guess in some ways I'm thinking to myself, what's the point of this video that I'm putting out about this Reddy Heater, the 200T? And I guess in some ways it's point blank because, I don't know, I've had the thing for 15, 20 years and I didn't even know myself that it had as many filters as it does until it actually gave me a problem. Now I guess if somebody else has this style of jet heater, salamander heater, whatever you want to call these, the kerosene-fired heaters like this, or torpedo heater I think they call them. I always call them a jet heater because it looks like a jet engine. I guess it's one of those things where that other filter that was inside, I didn't even know there was anything there. I probably would have found it, like I did now. Be able to keep my hands nice and warm, working on Big Black. I actually do have a complete filter kit and I think gasket or something, I don't know. It's like 4 or 3 pieces coming. I'll leave the link in the description under the Amazon affiliate thing that I've got. And if you need it, it's for the 200T. Might be for other ones too. Thanks for watching this quick little nothing episode of What's Up Guy Garage. I got the Reddy Heater T200 jet heater, ready to keep my hands nice and warm as we work on Big Black. I'll show you what the issues are with this truck, and there's a lot of them. It's a Ford. What do you expect? This side of the truck actually should be pretty sweet. It does have Bilstein shocks, not that you can tell because of all the